Hi,
Hey, it's Brianna.
it's Cameron.
And today we are doing, it is called Rainbow Reads. We found this from ChapterChicks. I thought it would be really cool to do, so you're supposed to find books that are coming out within like the next couple months or that have already been released like lately. So I'm going to go first, and I have read The Year of the Great Seventh by Tessa Orts. And on Goodreads, the tags that it's like put under is that obviously all these books are YA, and it falls under romance, fantasy, mythology, and dystopian. A lot of these fall under the dystopian, which doesn't bother me, honestly. So we start out with our main character, Sophie, who has always been like an outsider in school among like her friends that she has. And she lives in Los Angeles. Yes. She had already had her life set out for her and what she was going to do with her life. And then one day, it just takes like a drastic turn. One day, she comes across this guy named Matt Winner. He's like the school heartthrob, the guy that everyone falls for, and he's like, oh my gosh. And they fall in love in a way that neither of them can like understand why they did, because she's an outsider and he's the heartthrob of the school, and they don't understand why. With them giving into their temptations, I'm assuming that's like kissing and
Sex.
they may go to that, I doubt it. But they unlock the ancient Egyptian prophecy, which will then bring back the Earth to the Dark Ages.
My color is orange. The Voice by Jennifer Ann Davis. Okay, YA and contemporary. The main character is Audrey.
Audrey?
I could say Audrey. She is abducted and assaulted, during which she hears a voice, which explains the title. Yeah, okay, she thinks someone might be telepathically sending her messages to try to warn her to be careful. She flees to her aunt's house in San Diego, makes a new identity for herself. The twin brothers that are her neighbors, they threaten to ruin her new identity and break down the walls which she have built upon herself. When a familiar danger surfaces, it's the same voice that she returns to. A voice that is not only real, but a lot closer than she realizes.
For Yellow, this book has already been released, and I'm getting it in the mail tomorrow. And it is The Fifth Wave by Yancey. I am super excited to read this book. The tags that this book falls under is obviously young adult, science fiction, dystopia, aliens, post-apocalyptic, God, I cannot say that word, fantasy, romance, horror, and supernatural, or paranormal, my bad. The Passage meets Ender's Game in a new epic series from award-winning author Yancey. And it says, after the first wave, only darkness remains. After the second wave, only the lucky escape. After the third wave, only the unlucky survive. After the fourth wave, only one rule applies: trust no one. And it's the beginning of the fifth wave, obviously. And our main character, Cassie, is on the run from them. Them are the people that look just like humans, and they'll kill anyone in sight. And they're killing off the rest of the humans. She comes across a man named Evan Walker, who might be the only way to save her younger brother. Cassie must choose between trust and despair, between defiance and surrender, between life and death, to give up or to get up.
Okay, so I have Green, and this book is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sapitis. YA. Historical fiction, mystery, romance, realistic fiction, coming of age, and mystery thriller. This book is set in the 1950s in New Orleans. The main chick is Hussy.
Josie.
Hussy Moroni. She's 17. She wants to be more than a prostitute mother. She wants to make her own image. Like all teenagers, I guess. I don't know. But then a mysterious death occurs in her town and it leaves her there. Hussy
Josie.
is caught between the dream of an elite college and a clandestine, where is that? Underworld. New Orleans lures her in her quest for truth, dangling temptation at every turn, and escalating to the ultimate test.
For blue, I have The Rules by Stacey K. Number 1, never trust anyone. Number 2, remember they're always searching. Number 3, don't get involved. Number 4, keep your head down. 5, don't fall in love. Our main character, Arian? Whatever, Tucker. And she's escaped from the genetics lab where she was created, and she is the combination of human and an extraterrestrial. And she and her adoptive father are trying to find a way to blend in with the society within small Wisconsin town. She's hiding from those that are seeking lost and expensive project, which we don't know what this project is or what it is or what it means. And a school prank goes wrong, and she comes across a guy named Zane Bradshaw, who is the police officer's son, and he's the only one that can actually see Ariana, whatever, for who she really is.
So next color is indigo, and we have this book called Starglass by Phoebe North. The tags are YA. Science fiction.
What the heck is science fiction?
Dystopia. Fantasy. Space. Romance. Post-apocalyptic.
It's such a hard word to say.
Our main character is Tara. She is aboard the spaceship called the Ashura, which left Earth 500 years ago in search of refuge, I guess.
Refuge?
Yeah, that word. Okay, she's 16. She works a job that is not interesting to her, and she has a father that only notices her when he yells at her. So basically, she's screwed up. She wants something more to her life. The captain guard aboard the ship kills an innocent man, and Tara realizes the world is very dark as she's drawn into a secret rebellion, determined to restore power to her people. Tara has to make a huge decision that will cause life and death.
For Violet, I have The Book of Broken Hearts by Sarah Auckler. The tags that it falls under is YA, contemporary, romance, and realistic fiction. It says, when all roads point to heartbreak, can love still be a rule of the road? A poignant and romantic novel from the author of Bittersweet and the 20 Boys Summer. Our main character of the story is Jude, and she looks up to her older sisters for everything. And there are these boys in town that are called the Vargas brothers, who are heartbreakers. One of her sisters, or many of her sisters, had dated these Vargas boys, and every one of them has led to a heartbreak. And one day, she swore up and down that she would never ever date one of these boys, and she swore in candles and a contract and everything that she would never date one. One day, while she's helping her dad with a vintage motorcycle, of course they're going to need help. So they call a mechanic, and it turns out that it happens to be one of the Vargas brothers, whose one of their name is Emilio, who then she decides, oh, he's cute. She believes that this will just be another heartbreak. She doesn't want it to be another heartbreak. That she's different, and she just doesn't want her heartbroken.
Silver. Breaking Glass by Lisa Mowitz. YA. Thriller. Paranormal. Ghosts and death. Our main character is Jeremy Glass. He's 17. After he decides to drink alcohol, he ends up in the hospital because he had a crash with a broken leg. Okay, he has a secret crush on this chick named Susanna, and she disappears. When he begins receiving messages from her beyond the grave, he's not sure whether they're real or if he's losing his grip on reality. Clue by clue, he gets closer to unraveling the mystery, and soon realizes he must discover the truth or become the next victim himself.
For gold, we have Let the Sky Fall by Shannon Messenger. The tag that is labeled under YA, fantasy, paranormal, romance, mythology, urban fantasy, dystopia, and supernatural. Our main character is Vane Weston. He's 17 years old, and he survived a Category 5 tornado which had killed his parents. Every night since this tornado, he's had a dream about this beautiful, dark-haired girl, Audrey, who is 16 years old, which is a sylph, which is an air elemental. This turns out to be the girl that Van has been dreaming about. They had one mistake, which reveals where they were to the enemy, which had killed both of their parents. She walks on wind, can translate its alluring songs, and can even coax it into a weapon with a simple string of commands. She is also a guardian, which is Vane's guardian, and has sworn an oath to protect Vane at all costs, even if it means sacrificing her own life. She is forced to help Vane remember his old life, which he has a power that is a secret language of the West Wind, and which is only something he understands what it means. But unlocking his heritage will also unlock the memory that Audrey needs him to forget. That is a forbidden romance.
This is not really a color, but this is light. Is Game Board of the Gods by Rachel Mead.
Rochelle. Oh god, do not butcher this name. Rochelle Mead.
Our YA, fantasy, dystopia, adult, paranormal, science fiction, mythology, urban fantasy, and romance. Justin March fails at his job of being an investigator for religious groups and supernatural claims. By the way, this is a futuristic world. It is nearly destroyed by a religious extremist. May Koskinen brings him a new chance, which is to bring him back to the Republic of United North America, Bruna. May is now a member of the military's most elite, terrifying tier of soldier with enhanced reflexes and skills. Justin and May are forced to work together to solve some murders, and this puts them in terrible danger. As their investigation races forward, unknown enemies and powers greater than they can imagine are gathering in the shadows, ready to reclaim the world in which humans are merely game pieces on the board.
We did Dark, and the book we picked was If You Find Me by Emily Murdoch. YA, contemporary mystery, realistic fiction, abuse, drama, survival, romance, and suspense. A broken-down camper hidden deep in the national forest is the home to 15-year-old Carrie to remember. She is with her younger sister, Genesis, who depends on Carrie for her survival. They only have each other to survive. Their mentally ill mother comes and goes, and as they get older, she comes less frequently, and then disappears for good. And then one day, two strangers come up and take them. The girls are taken from the woods and thrown into a bright and perplexing new world of high school clothes and boys. Abduction happened 10 years ago. So she was living by herself when she was 5 years old. And she was haunted by her past and she just can't get past it. Her sister hasn't spoken a single word in a year. And Carrie knows that she needs to keep her sister close and all of her secrets closer, or she has to risk watching her new life come crashing down.
Thank you for watching this video.
Bye.
Stay fab and Poxy!